Well, welcome back. Now we are going to shed light on the government as Egyptian government is seeking to maintain achievements of the national projects and development plans as Egypt's economy has achieved some growth in the last year. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Mr. Abdel Latif, Wahba journalist. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Well, sir, despite the challenges that the world is witnessing, however, Egypt's economy was able to achieve some growth during the first half of the fiscal year 2021. What's your comment?
Let us say first that before 2013, as you know, that we faced many economic problems, and also the new administrations. I mean, for example, Fatah al-Sisi, when he came to power, we have a deteriorated economy in Egypt. But after 2 years, I think in 2016, Egypt had negotiations with the IMF, with the international institutions, to see how to tackle with all the Egyptian economic problems. As you know, we reached a deal with the IMF concerning 12 billion US dollars. And then, since this time, Egypt followed and implemented an economic reform program. As you know, that at the same time, Egypt adopted a new policy and a new social safety net to support the Egyptian people. And after they managed in their economic reform program and its first phase, we held another cooperation with the IMF. I mean to restructuring the Egyptian economy. And as you know, they didn't want any financial or fund deal. But after coronavirus or COVID-19, and then also the crisis of the Russian-Ukrainian war, Egypt asked for another financial deal or help or support from the IMF. As you know, that Egyptian economy during this during the last years, as you know, achieved many goals concerning the GDP, also increasing the Egyptian exports to the other international markets. And also at the same time today, Egypt cabinet and Egypt administrations did a great effort to secure all the essential commodities, especially wheat and vegetable oils and so on, that we depend or we imported some quantities from the international market. Although the economic crisis in the world, the Egyptian economy, as you know, that during the last fiscal year 21-22 achieved 60.6% of gross domestic product. And this is, of course, came at a time when the IMF and the World Bank forecasted for the Egyptian economy to grow by 3.3 and so on. But the Egyptian economy grew two times by 6.6 in last fiscal year. I think this is, of course, a great success for the Egyptian economy. As you know, that Egypt, during the crisis, I mean, during the COVID-19 and also the Russian-Ukrainian crisis, allocated support for all the Egyptian sectors, economic sectors, especially in banking sectors, also for the industries, trade, and the social safety nets, and so on. This is, of course, make the Egyptian economy very strong to face any economic repercussions of this world crisis.
Yes. So, Mr. Wahba, now with the fiscal year and during the fiscal year 21 and 2022, the Egyptian economy have witnessed a good growth, like for example in many fields, for example, the restaurants and the hotel sectors in Egypt came on top of the domains that have achieved a growth rate of 45.5%. So how do you see concerning the field of hotels and tourism?
Yeah, of course, as we said, that some sectors in Egyptian economy did a great effort to keep its development progress during this fiscal year. As you know, if we see, for example, the Egyptian exporters, we will find that it will increase hugely during the last fiscal year, and also the Egyptian worker remittances also increased to over $31 billion, and also the Egyptian non-oil exports. This is, of course, supported the Egyptian economy, and at the same time, as you know, that the hike in the international prices of natural gas, for example, this also gives Egypt some incentives concerning how to increase its foreign currency from exporting the natural gas and other exports, as you know. During I think the last quarter of the last fiscal year, Egypt also at the same time managed to secure during the first half of 22 to secure the basic commodities like vegetable oils, like imported wheat, and this of course protected the Egyptian economy from the shocks of the international prices of these commodities. For example, now, for example, we have a stockpile of wheat sufficient for over 7 months for the first time in the Egyptian history. And at the same time, also we have about 5.5 months for vegetable oils, and also for rice and sugar. We achieved at least about 90% of self-sufficiency from white sugar. This is, of course, I mean, the increasing of the stockpiles of the main commodities like oil, wheat, like rice, like sugar, and so on. This is, of course, protected the not only the Egyptian economy but also the Egyptian people from the sudden and the repercussions of the international prices of these commodities.
Yes, yes. So, Mr. Wahba, also concerning the Suez Canal revenues, in the last July, the revenues of the Suez Canal have reached 704 million US dollars. The Suez Canal achieved a growth rate of 11.7%. What's your comment on this?
Yeah, of course, as you know that after the new canal, the traffic in the Suez Canal during the last fiscal year increased concerning the number of oil tankers of natural gas vessels and also of the of other kinds of vessels increased hugely, and as you know that the Suez Canal revenues increased also at the same time to 7 billion US dollars, and this is I think it's recommended to increase also or to continue increasing during the current fiscal year 22-23.
Yes.
This is, of course, I think, plays an important role in Egyptian economy as we are seeking for more foreign direct investment in the Egyptian economy. Especially in the Suez Canal corridors. As you know that we attracted and Egypt has more efforts from the international institutions and the companies to work in green energy, especially nitrogen and so on. This is, of course, will give Egypt some incentives in producing clear energy, and at the same time will attract the international companies to work in Egypt, as we will host maybe after a month from now the international conventions. COP27.
Yes, yes. So, Mr. Wahba, also the field of telecommunications sector achieved a growth rate of 16.3%. Also, Egyptian the petroleum exports increased by 122%, and also Egyptian non-oil exports grew by 57.8%. How do you see this?
Yeah, of course, as you know that Egypt got benefited from the international, also from the international crisis erupted because of the Ukrainian-Russian war. As you know, there is a huge demand just now for energy, for natural gas, for oils, and so on. And although that Egypt imported some kind of fuels, but we exported the natural gas. And if you notice, for example, during the last 4 or 3 months, the European countries came to Egypt and visited Egypt, especially the EU energy representatives, asking for more cooperation between Egypt and the EU to supply or to secure apart from their needs or from the Egyptian natural gas. This is, of course, as you know, that the prices increased hugely from $3 per British thermal unit to about 33 dollars each one.
Yes.
This is on one hand. On the other hand, as you mentioned, for the telecommunications, for example, as you know that we implemented many international projects concerning the connections between Egypt and Europe, between Egypt and East Asia through the naval cables. This is, of course, makes Egypt a center for telecommunications in the area. We have many international companies working in telecommunications, and at the same time, as you know, that the Egyptian market is so significant by its consumers.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time and for your valuable information, Mr. Abdel Latif Wahba, journalist. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. And with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, The Breakfast Show. I was in the company of my colleague Nermia Abdurrahman. I thank the director Hadia for this very good episode. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.